I told my wife she should embrace her mistakes. It really didn't make her happy, but at least I got a hug out of it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today, we're going to talk about what to farm next. We've got a lot of news, and even if we don't agree that the Lord Vader raid should exist for the reasons that it does, we still have things to plan in this game. So we're going to talk about that and keep our opinions to ourselves, except as it pertains to farming things. A huge shout out to my patrons. By the way, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really couldn't do this without you. Really couldn't. You guys are very appreciated. Yeah. Let's leave it at that for now. And guys, just a reminder, please like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm, please. It would very much be appreciated. Let's move on here, folks. So what's the purpose of this video? This is always a video that I try to do it every month-ish. We skipped about 3 months lately because there just wasn't any good new content. And then about 3 weeks ago, I made this video, my monthly video, and there still wasn't much news, but I was like, well, we need to update some of this stuff. And now we just got a huge amount of news. And we gotta talk about it, folks. Like, what's the best thing to farm now that we know what we know? So our goal, of course, is to get as much stuff as we can. Yes, this is a character collection game, but it's also more than that. It's more of a resource management game, really, at the end of the day. And just trying to not only get the stuff that's the most efficient, which, I mean, that tends to be very easy to be efficient in this game, but can you get stuff that's efficient and effective at the same time? So, you know, trying to get as many rewards as we can, trying to get as much stuff as we can is the goal here. So there are a lot of different game modes, and the most important ones are, they tends to be the current raid and Fleet Arena. I think Fleet Arena is a little more important because you get crystals from it, but it's been so stagnant for a long time. They haven't added new ships, hardly at all, and the things that they've changed have been arbitrary at best, really frustrating on a lot of levels. But there's also these new things called era battles, which we have no idea. Maybe I'll take them off this slide for the next time. I have no idea, but maybe there'll be the new most important thing. Who knows, guys? So Fleet Arena, I did update this one a little bit just to say, first off, Executrix does counter Executor sometimes. I've been doing it lately because my other counters to Executor have been really crappy and bad experiences. So Executrix has actually worked pretty consistently, even with bad banners. Also, Profundity does beat the other two top fleets. I wouldn't say that it's as easy to win with that fleet as it is with the other two, but you can still beat them as long as you know how to do it. So, you know, the top 3 fleets remain the top 3 fleets, and the Negotiator with Marauder is probably the last one. All right, so this is where the big news comes in, folks. The current raid. This is something that we keep as a slide, but for a long time we thought it was going to be the Peridia raid. It was going to have Ahsoka and Baylan and Night Sisters, all of these things that we were farming. It just seemed to like fall into place. It seemed like it made a lot of sense. And now we're not doing that anymore. That was, we thought it was going to be that raid, and now it's not. And we're getting the Lord Vader raid, and we get to save the ones we love, which is so exciting. But we can confidently say that the Lord Vader raid is going to be here no sooner than June of 2025, but we'll also, it has... The Naboo raid now has a finite time frame. And we also know that we're not going back to like crate raid. People who have theorized that we're going to be doing a cyclical raid where we do crate raid, then we do the Endo raid, then the Naboo raid, and then we cycle back to crate, and we just do that every few months or whatever. Apparently that's not what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll cycle through 4 raids at once, and that'll be crazy and probably never happen. But Lord Vader raid is coming, and that means we can stop with farming things like gun guns for the raid specifically. If you want to farm gun guns, I suppose just do it. I don't care, but they're not gonna be worth nearly as much. I'm sure they're a strong team, but most teams that have been released lately have been strong anyways. And gun guns just don't have any purpose anymore, really. They're just they're just kind of aimless, weird frog people. So don't farm those, guys, please. Start farming the new stuff. What's the new stuff? Well, we know the new Bad Batch squad is on the list. So, and they're really good apparently. They've been escalated from fairly worthless characters to, hey, you should probably get these as soon as you can because they're going to be really good in the raid, and they're a good team anyways. Tarkin looks like he's gonna be really good. They're gonna update him. A lot of people already have Tarkin at Relic 7 actually, because he's required for who is it? Sith Eternal Emperor, for Lord Vader, for someone. Who cares? A lot of people are going to want to work on Tarkin if they don't have him already worked on. My alt is certainly putting him on the list. And then, of course, this era of Revenge of the Sith characters. So we're going to get 4 Darkside clone troopers, and we'll get 2 new Jedi Vanguard characters, and we'll get Mace Windu. So those are all going to be part of the new raid. I'm sure a few worthless characters like Imagoon D are going to be on the list as well, because why not? That guy is goon die. More on the raid in a little bit, folks. So Rise of the Empire has not received any kind of updates for a long time, and that is great. I would love it if they'd update it to make it less onerous to play, frankly, instead of like, hey, we're opening a new node. Don't you want to spend another half an hour of your life every couple weeks on this new node? Wouldn't that be grand? Instead, I would love it if they were like, hey, would you like to spend a half hour less on each node every other week? I would be happy. But this is information for you guys who don't know what the priority levels are for these things. You just want to do special missions, folks. Special missions are where it's at. That's how you break your guilds. Zetas are actually a crunch these days for a lot of people. Kyrotech grind, because GT1 and GT2 can be used to purchase Kyrotech. So work on special missions. Read the things. Pause the screen if you want. We're moving right along. So we've added quotations for new assault battles. They're not that new, but they happen every month. They give you the best rewards. And this is what you probably want to work on these guys to some degree, at least, even if you don't have Queen Amidala, even if you're not going to work on Imperial Remnant teams, these guys are pretty worthwhile. I realize that the Zombie Bros cost a huge, a ton amount, that's the new measurement, folks, of Kyrotech. They cost a ton amount of them, so I get it. My alt is really struggling. I farmed all of them, and it's really tough to get them past gear 11. Like I don't want to take the plunge. It's worth it. It actually is worth it, but gosh, I don't want to do it. And so if you don't want to do it either, join me in procrastinating on the Zombie Bros. But let's move on. Those assault battles are important, guys, and they come every month. So, era battles. We don't know anything about them. They gave us kind of a generic, like, here's the narrative surrounding these era battles, and they're just going to be new content that we have to spend more time on. So that'll be cool. We're excited for era battles. It's gonna be a battle. So should we farm Baylan and Ahsoka? This is a really complex question, guys, because those teams are really, really strong. They are, and they fit in well with all the newly released stuff. The new Bad Batch, with Hunter and Wrecker, go really nicely with the Baylan squad, and the Baylan squad's Night Sisters are there. You know, the unlock for Baylan. The Night Sisters there are really strong as well. Baylan kills a lot of stuff. He defends pretty well in GAC. Ahsoka and her team work pretty well in GAC as well. I mean, very well. They're really strong. And at the same time, they're also very expensive because they require non-accelerated characters to farm. They are, Ahsoka requires 105 total relic levels, including 3 relic 9 characters, all of her previous Ahsoka selves. And that doesn't include Ezra or herself in any of that, which you're going to want Ezra at 8 if you can, and herself at 8 or 9 if you can as well. So yes, they're very good, but they're very expensive, and there's also not a single damn reason in the game to farm them other than they're good. I guess that there's like a Galactic Legend thing that you get the little purple currency for at the end of Conquest for Ahsoka. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are strong teams, but there's not like a reason to get them. That you're not farming them for like, oh, now I can unlock this thing, now I can get more resources, now I can, like, you get them because you're end game and you don't have anything else to work on. But unfortunately, we have a ton of new stuff to work on, and these guys are kind of just getting shouldered out of the way, just elbowed, like they're getting nudged out. Because why work on these characters that are the most expensive ever? I mean, Baylan's probably around the same, but Ahsoka is insanely expensive resource-wise, whether you spend money or not. She is absolutely bonkers expensive. And you're just getting a good character that you can find production, her level of production, from other Galactic Legends that are cheaper and will also get you more stuff. So, I mean, should you work on these? They're cool characters, but it doesn't seem like there's any reason whatsoever to work on them at this point. Like, we're not getting the Peridia raid. That was the big, awesome reason to work on them. That was like, yeah, your all of that investment is going to pan out, and now it's just, hey, you have some cool characters. Congratulations on the cool characters. Let's pat the person on the head. Okay, focus Datacrons are new and scary. A lot of people are pissed off because they see it as whale bait. They kind of are. If you want to spend money on the pass, if you spend 20 bucks on the pass, which I'm not saying you should do what you want with your own money. That's what I think you should do. But spend money on things that you want to. If you do, and you get the pass, then these are no-brainers, and you can afford them, for the most part, at least. I think you'll be able to get at least 3 of them, probably 4 of them, with just the pass. Like this, the cheap pass, cheap $20 pass, and that's it. If not, maybe you can afford 1 or 2 of these per Datacron cycle. They're 10,000 currency, and guys, just get omicrons here. Omicrons are by far the priority right now. Datacrons are important to this game, but they go away. Omicrons are forever. They're like diamonds, I guess. Oh my gosh. These things are probably going to be meta shifting. They're probably going to be strong. And maybe we'll reevaluate and say, you know what? Maybe it's worth not farming as many omicrons for these Datacrons. I don't know. But as of right now, they just don't, from the information that we have currently, these don't seem like they're worthwhile investments compared to omicrons, which is the real treasure of the new currency. Should you farm Lord Vader now that he's getting a squad of buddies? This is really interesting. Like, should people stop working on Maul now? I mean, he's still good anyways, but like, is Royal Guard just total crap now? Is Thrawn not gonna? Who knows? Who knows? We don't know anything, guys. Lord Vader is the second most expensive Galactic Legend, even compared to Leia or Jabba, which were released after him. But And the characters are mostly useful, kind of, at least to some degree. We used to think they were useful, but I don't know. Like, we don't know how strong, what the power level is going to be with Lord Vader. Maybe it's going to be amazing. We don't know any of their kits yet. We don't know anything. He is very expensive and very worthless in the game on a lot of different levels. He is also very useful for some things. I'm not trying to downplay how, he's an investment that I would typically advise people to wait until the end of their farming cycle for different Galactic Legends. He's probably number 8 or 9 on the priority list, right? And we don't know if these new clones are going to make him really awesome. Maybe the new clones actually should live with Tarkin. We don't really know. Tarkin, they say, is going to go well with them. And maybe that's the final home. We don't know. And so I would just advise you not to jump on that particular relic grenade if you don't absolutely have to yet. Like, hoard for it, sure, or work on it if you really want to because you're excited for the team. As far as what's wise, I think waiting is probably wise. You've waited this long, maybe wait like a month and then we'll know more kits and we'll have more information. But right now it looks interesting. It looks like he's gonna be good, but who really knows? So how to prioritize here, folks. New Bad Batch went from 0 to hero pretty quickly. Start working on them. You can start farming Omega soon, or Zeta, whatever her name is. The new clones and Jedi Vanguard marquees are going to be really important, not only because you're going to use them for the new raid, but you're also going to use them to unlock Master Window, which is pretty cool, I guess. He'll be good. I'm sure he will be. I'm excited to unlock him, and then we'll have a few good raid teams, right? At least, and we'll have Jocasta new there included, and you can work on Tarkin because Tarkin is absolutely going to be important for this new raid. And I would just advise hoarding things. It's the most boring part of the game and I hate it, and I don't typically follow my own advice, but if you have the self-discipline to hoard your materials, that's probably the best solution to anything, because we're going to need a lot of stuff coming up. Hoarding your crystals isn't a bad idea either, and then spending them on trying to get more shards of the new marquees coming up, because they're going to be important, guys. If you have to prioritize between Bad Batch and the new marquees look like a slam dunk. They look amazingly strong, and that's going to be 2 of the teams that we're going to ultimately have for the new raid. So work on those. Baylan and Ahsoka are they're disappointing, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Make your own decisions, obviously, but if you're just like thinking about starting to farm them, I'd maybe just wait for a year or 2, and then their farms are accelerated, they're easier to get, and then you're not missing out on raid characters and stuff. So anyways, there's a bunch of links in the video description to these other farms that you may need access to or need more thoughts on. So go check those videos out as well. I'm gonna call it good here, guys. What do you think from the new raid, the new stuff that they've announced? Do you agree with me? Do you think we should do other things? I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Take care, folks.